Okay, so let us start with the first chapter. The name is Introduction to Nanoscience. So, as you can see, the word nano, okay, very user friendly to all of you right now. Um from first year, from your admission, you are listening this word as nano. Okay, so that nano, this word comes from the Greek word which is called as a draft, and 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 meter. So this is a conversion. Okay, so if you want to understand, okay, uh, the size of the nanometer, so the nanometer is a size. Okay, so if you want to understand, if you want to imagine it, then we have to convert that nanometer, okay, into some number which is known to you. So you are well aware about a meter scale. Okay, so you have an idea about 1 meter is belongs to how much distance. Okay, you have that idea. Okay, because you use it in your daily life. Okay, so if you know that what is the distance of 1 meter, okay, if you imagine it, okay, and if you want to imagine now 1 nanometer, then you have to divide 1 meter, okay, into 10 raised to 9 times smaller. Okay, so if you make 10 raised to 9 slices of 1 meter, okay, then one slice is equivalent to 1 nanometer. Okay, so this is a just conversion factor, okay, from unknown to known. So 1 nanometer is an unknown um, distance for you right now. Okay, and if you want to know how exactly small it is compared to 1 meter, then the 1 nanometer is 10 raised to minus 9 meter. Okay, I hope you got it. Okay, so now if you try to understand, the term nano is nothing but is a small. Okay, how small it is? It is 10 raised to minus 9 times smaller than, 10 raised to minus 9 times 10 raised to 9 10 raised to 9 times smaller than a meter. Okay, so if you imagine it, how small is a nano, then I'm going to introduce you four basic terminologies, which is called as a uh, which belongs to the nano, and it is going to frequently come in our lectures. Okay, so the first term is nanoscale, second is nano materials, third is a nanoscience, and fourth is a nanotechnology. So as far as technology is concerned, okay, so technology is the uses and knowledge of tools, techniques, systems, or methods of organization to in order to solve a problem or serve some purpose. Okay, so up to now you are familiar with the word technology. Okay, so something, uh, technique, okay, or some kind of tool or some kind of information, uh, that is going to help you to solve a problem. Okay, so that ideology is called as a technology. Okay, the word technology comes from a Greek, and if you um, break this word into techne and logia, so techne is a meaning, the meaning of techne is art, skill, or craft. Okay, so techne is nothing but art or skill, and logia meaning is study of. Okay, so technology is nothing but study of an art, study of an skill. So the term nanotechnology was first time introduced by Professor Norio Taniguchi in 1974. Okay, so technology was a known word to the audience, but nanotechnology is first time, okay, introduced by, first time coined by Professor Norio Taniguchi in 1974. Okay, so nanotechnology is sometimes also very familiar uh, experts also use this word as a nanotech. Nanotech is a short form of nanotechnology and is a study of manipulating matter on an atomic or molecular scale. Okay, so now if you want to manipulate something, okay, at the nanoscale, okay, so what is nanoscale, that we will see in the next slide. So if you want to do some skill, if you have a skill where you can manipulate the object at a very small scale, okay, then that technology you can call it as a nanotechnology. Generally, nanotechnology deals with the structures size between 1 to 100 nanometer. Okay, so now you know 1 nanometer is how small compared to the 1 meter. Okay, so 1 nanometer, 200 nanometer, this is a region. Okay, so in that region, if you are using some technology, okay, or in at least one of the dimension, be meaning of what, because we are living in a three-dimensional world. Okay, we have an x directional world, y directional world, and z directional world. So this world is three-dimensional. You are able to measure some volume, area, whatever you are doing. Okay, so we are living in a three-dimensional world. So all the dimensions, or at least one of the dimension, okay, all the three dimensions, or at least one of the dimension, if it lies in the range of 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer, um, then that technology is belongs to the nanotechnology. So here is a definitions in a very short manner. So here you can see nanoscale. So in general, if you want to know, if somebody asks you in general what is a nanoscale, then scale means, okay, where the region where you can measure that distance in that unit. Okay, so nanoscale means 1 nanometer is the smallest, okay, to 999 nanometers. Okay, so this is a general. Okay, so if you 1000 nanometer is nothing, starts from 1 micrometer. Okay, 1 micrometer to 999 micrometer. Okay, 1000 micrometer belongs to 1 centimeter. So likewise, in general, if somebody asks you what is a nanoscale, so you have to answer that 1 nanometer to 999 nanometer is a nanoscale. This is in general. Okay, but if you are expert, okay, if you are talking with some expert in nano subject, okay, then conventionally the nanoscale is defined in the region of 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. Okay, so if now you are going to become expert in nanotechnology, okay, in nanoscience. Okay, so if some person belongs to your subject ask you that what is a nanoscale, then you have to answer smartly that 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer is the nanoscale. Why it is restricted to 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer, we'll discuss in next slides. Okay, then once you understand what is a nanoscale, so what is a nanoscale now? Now the nanoscale is a scale which lies in the range of 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. Now what is a nanomaterial? So any material or any object or anything which have all the dimensions. As I said, we have three dimensions. So all the dimensions, all three dimensions, or at least one of the dimension, if it lies in the range of, okay, if the size of that material or object or thing in all three dimensions, or at least one of the dimension, if it lies in the range of 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer, then it is called as a nanomaterial. Then it is called as a nanomaterial. Okay, what is a nanoscience? Okay, if you are now studying the property of nanomaterials that differ significantly from those at the larger scale. Okay, so in general, what is nothing but the property? Property is nothing but the nature of the material. Okay, for example, what is the color of the material? So it is belongs to optical property. Okay, what is the electrical conductivity of the material? Okay, so it is a electrical property. So what is the electrical properties, what is the optical properties, what is the magnetic properties of these materials? Okay, so in general, if you take the larger materials, the properties are not going to change, they remain same. Okay, okay, so but if the same material, if you bring it to the nanoscale, now you know what is our nanoscale is 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. So if some bigger material is goes down to the nanoscale, enters into the nano world, where the nanoscale uh, lies in the range of 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer, then it has been seen that the properties of the material are changing. Okay, and if the properties of material are changing, then we have to understand this new science of this material, and we call this science as a nanoscience. And finally, as we already discussed, the nanotechnology, it contains the nanomaterials or nanometer scale and devices and objects. So that the technology which deals with the nanomaterial or nanoscale, okay, then such kind of technology is called as a nanotechnology. Okay, so these are the some of the general, okay, just for to get an idea what people say about the nanoscience. Okay, so this is the some of the general ideal um, definitions which are given in some of the books. Okay, so as you can see, the George M. Wistseitz, he published in a journal Small, okay, in 2005, okay, of page number 172 to 179. What he's saying about the nanoscience in 2005 is nanoscience is an emerging science of objects that are intermediate in size between the largest molecules and the smallest structures that can be fabricated by current photolithography. Now, what is photolithography? Is a technique, okay, to make nanomaterials. Right now, we are not going into details of it, but definitely in some of the next chapters, we will see what is photolithography. Okay, what is lithography and what are different types of lithography. We'll see everything. Okay, so that is the science of objects with the smallest dimension ranging from few nanometer to less than 100 nanometer. Okay, so this is what the definition which is given by George. Okay, Lindsay is a very famous book from the very famous book Introduction to Nanoscience. Okay, from the Oxford University in 2010. He says that nanoscience is about the phenomena that occur in systems with nanometer dimension. Okay, so the phenomena or the science that is coming out from the system, okay, when the system, the dimension of the system is lies in the nanometer scale. Okay, so that is called as a nanoscience. Okay, the Steed or Atwood in 2009 in a journal Supramolecular Chemistry, it says that the science of the material whose properties scale with size. Okay, so you have some material, and if it's changing its properties with its size, then we can deal with this material as a nanomaterial. Here you can see that chart. Okay, basically you can see a chart, and in this chart, if you see carefully, then you can see the name of different subjects. Okay, so chemistry, biology, physics, microbiology, molecular biology, okay, engineering, surface science, biotechnology. So all these subjects are there. Okay, these are already available in our study. Okay, so why we study all these subjects under nanoscience? Because nanoscience cuts across all vertical sciences and engineering disciplines. What does it mean? It means that the nanoscience is contributing its a role in different subjects of science and engineering. Okay, and that's why we call this nanoscience as an interdisciplinary science. Okay, so this is the reason why all of you are going to learn different subjects, okay, under this course. You have to also learn what is the role of nano in chemistry, so you can call this as a nanochemistry. Okay, you can also see what is the different aspects of physics are going to change when the material goes to the nano. Okay, then you can say that this is a nanophysics. Okay, nanobiology, okay, and nanobiotechnology. So everywhere in all these subjects of science and technology, basically the when the material or when the dimension of that object or thing goes to the nanoscale, then it's a science has got changed. Okay, it gives you some new property which are definitely useful in a different way. Okay, so in that sense we call this nanoscience as an interdisciplinary science. Okay, so this is a very important that if you want to learn the nanoscience, if you want to become the expert in the nanoscience, you should have some sort of knowledge of chemistry or biotechnology and physics. Okay, so because this is an interdisciplinary, some of the applications of nanomaterials and nanotechnology, you can see that is a combination of chemistry, is a combination of chemistry and physics, is a combination of chemistry and biology. Okay, so in that sense you can have multidisciplinary applications. Okay, because you are dealing with a science which is interdisciplinary. Now this is a just for to know where we are at the moment, okay, in the world of nanotechnology or nanotech. Okay, so this slide will give you an idea. Okay, so I give this title for this slide as a innovation to revolution chart. Okay, so this is nothing but something is first get innovated, okay, then slowly it get uh, slowly it get introduced to the peoples. Then the people started to absorb it. Okay, and they wanted to start to use it in their daily life, and after that it get, you know, started to grow in a higher dimension, and finally it gets saturated. So this is a innovation to revolution chart in general. Okay, for example, you are aware about computer. So here you can see in this chart is provided by Norman. Okay, um, from one of the slide I take this. Okay, just for uh, uh, just for teaching purpose. Okay, so you can see that they have given the innovation to revolution chart for textiles, okay, for railroads, for automobile, for computer, and for nanotechnology. Okay, we are not looking for everyone, but you are aware about computer, so you can see that its invention has started in 1939. A recent invention of computer has first time started in 1939. Then you can see from 1939 to 1969, which is given by a brown colored line. You can see that, so green, from green dot to blue dot, you can see that that is the introduction to the computers. After 1969, it has widely absorbed by the community. Okay, so it's a graph is continuously increasing. Okay, up to 2025. We are not yet in the 2025. We are in 2020. Okay, 2020. Okay, so you can see it is still get absorbed by the people, but after 2025 or after 2040, okay, you can see that end of the rapid growth phase, because something has new emerged which is better than a computer. Okay, and then you will not be able to use a normal computer what we are looking at the moment, what we are using it today. But after 30 years nobody will use these computers. Okay, so likewise, if we want to understand this where we are in the nanotechnology, then you can see the green dot for the nanotechnology is in 1997. Okay, so now still we are in the 2020. It means we are still in the introduction of the technology. We are still in the era of introduction. Okay, more possibly people started to know more about the nanotechnology. Okay, still right now many of us are using this technology, but people are not aware about it. So it's our job to introduce people, okay, about the nanoscience, nanotechnology. Okay, so you can see that after from the blue dot, which may somewhere come up at 2025. So there is a rapid increase in the absorption by the community. Okay, and it will somewhere end in 2060. So this is just an imaginary chart, but I want to say that we are still in the introductory part. So we are not an expert in the nanotechnology at the moment, because daily some newcomers are emerging out of the nano world. Okay, some new materials are coming, some different properties are coming. Okay, some different applications are coming by using this nano world. Okay, nanotechnology. Okay, so we are yet not fully understood it. Okay, but what we have, the basics about the nanoscience and nanotechnology, what we have. So this is the right time to know about the nanoscience and nanotechnology. Okay, and generally you can see that only two significant innovations come per century. Okay, so that is not an easy job to for something which has just innovated, and it has completely revolutionized revolutionized the world. Okay, so it takes a century for or a half century to just pass this cycle from innovation to revolution. Okay, this is again a very interesting chart. Okay, like previous, where you can see that because it is an interdisciplinary science, because it has contributed in different subjects of science and technology, it has also contributed in different industrial sections. Okay, so this is a nanotechnology industrial section chart. As you can see, the nanotechnology is cutting all vertical industrial sectors like energy, chemical, sport, telecommunication, computers, construction, transportations, healthcare, biotechnology, okay, aerospace, agriculture, and food. So every sector of industry has been get benefited by some sort of nanotechnology. So what is the height of this building? What is the height of this vertical sector? Can you see this? Okay, so this is also giving you an interesting information that if the height is smaller, it means the nanotechnology has contributed less in that industrial sector. Okay, if the height of the sector is higher, okay, okay, then it means that the nanotechnology is contributing a lot in that sector. For example, if you see the health and pharmaceuticals industry, then in that industry nanotechnology has contributed very high as compared to transportation. Okay, if you see the energy sector has got more benefited, computer sector has got more benefited as compared to the sport. Okay, so this is what the information you are getting from this chart. Okay, so the different heights of the industrial sectors in the graph are only indicative and are intended to emphasize the fact that the level of impact of nanotechnology will be different in each industrial sector, and it also depend upon our daily use, because we are highly dependent on healthcare and pharmaceuticals. Okay, so it's a industry sector is higher, the need for the people for the pharmaceutical and healthcare is higher. So for that, it more interest of nanotechnology experts or scientists, they are taking and contributing in this sector. Okay, so this is a very important slide where you are able to get an idea that how nanotechnology is important in each sector. Okay, So we can't say that only nanotechnology is contributing in one sector and it is not contributing to other sectors. So this is what the benefit. Okay, this is what the important, okay, very important thing about the nanotechnology is that it is interdisciplinary subject. Okay, and because of that it is also contributing in different sectors, industrial sectors, what we are dealing with today's need.